next we'll be speaking to the Harrow candidates. We have got Otis Kirby-Dunkley and Lucas Rapp. We're going to recap what's happened last night on Smoke Radio's election debate.
What's your flavour? Tell me what's your flavour?
This is Smoke Radio's election debate. Next up, we hear from the Harrow candidates.
I mean, the main thing is, for example, today I went up in the library and 6 computers were just not working. They had like some problems whatsoever. So this is one side. You have the computers up there who are not up to date, and everyone needs them. You can sometimes not even open a Word document because they're not updated.
Every single computer, there must be thousands of computers in this university. So I mean, we're here studying. If something's not working, we need to tell them.
In order to make this much easier, like if you have a guiding system, what is really missing at the university because you just get lost everywhere, this would help the people. And
to me, this guiding system seems a bit vague. Have you got an actual idea in your head?
A less intimidating union.
Yeah.
Is this something that you've experienced?
When I go to the Students' Union, I'm like, ooh, do I know anybody in there? And if I don't, yes, I do feel a bit intimidated.
Okay, so that was a bit of what happened last night on Smoke Radio's election debate. We've got Otis Kirby-Dunkley sat on my left here, and also Lucas Rapp as well. They are both running for the Vice President role at Harrow. So we'll start with Lucas. Could you just introduce yourself? You have 45 seconds.
my name is Lucas. I do my MA in photo documentary and photojournalism, and I run for the Vice President in Harrow.
Okay.
The manifesto as well?
Yeah,
okay, yeah, like my main points are the food quality, the quality and the improvement, and the choice. The second one is the sport. Like outside in Harrow, we're a bit isolated, so there could be more invested for outside gym, for example. Then the workplaces, as mentioned. And the third one is the coffee shop, what is just way too expensive, and we don't have a choice, like the guys here, to go in the city.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. Otis, 45 seconds to introduce yourself and your manifesto.
Hello, my name's Otis Kirby-Dunkley. I'm running for VP of Harrow. The course I'm studying is radio production. This is my final year, I'm in my third year, and the three most important points in my manifesto is to create a more approachable students' union, get international and cultural awareness, and one issue that we've been longing for a very long time is getting 24-hour studio access.
You have more time?
All right, well, vote for me. Voting starts on Monday. Yeah, be at the stations.
Okay, so we'll start with a question for you, Otis. You say that the SU is intimidating, and you mentioned it a lot during the debate last night. Do you think that a change of location will really change the general perception of the Students' Union?
It's not just the location that I want to change. What I want to do is I want to... Well, we could have an office where it is right now, but I want to have like a contact point, or even the whole office in the forum with no doors. If there's a separate office that can have doors for private matters, but for the forum, where it's the busiest, that's where everyone comes to lunch, that's where everyone comes into the university, if we could have a contact point there for the Students' Union...
How do you think, surely everyone walks past the Students' Union on the street as it is at the moment?
The only reason I normally walk past it is to go get food from the shop. So if I brought my own food from home, I wouldn't walk past it. And the doors are shut, so it's quite intimidating seeing them walk open, seeing the doors come open, and then everyone staring up behind their desks at you.
Okay, so Lucas, how would you respond to this? Do you think that what do you think about the general perception of the Students' Union?
I would say, like in this way, he's totally right. And if you look at the other campuses, everywhere the student union have their office in the forum, like where people arrive. So you're not intimidated. You go there. And I mean, you can still use the space, but I think the office has to move in the forum, somewhere there around.
So
or to
agree,
restore, yeah, I agree with this one.
This point. Okay, last night you mentioned that you wanted an outdoor gym. How would you implement this, and what would the positive effects of it be?
It's well, I mean, as we are outside the city center, it's quite hard to find alternatives. So we have a small gym, and also the sports hall is like not that new. I'd say that the showers are not that special. But anyway, like if you have an outdoor gym, it's a perfect possibility to use people as well from Harrow, not just for the students, because you don't have these kind of gyms where you can do really workout
And
in
would
Harrow.
would it benefit students who are located more centrally, central London?
I mean, they have alternatives. Of course, they can come out there, but for them, it's not a priority. They have, like, these outdoor gyms exist in the city center, in Regent Park and all the other parks, but we don't have these kind of special gyms there. We have gyms, but they are, you know, that's not for people who do really workout, like calisthenics and everything. So it's just...
Okay, Otis, in your manifesto, you've mentioned that you have immersed yourself into more than just your degree. How is this, and does an outdoor gym sound like something you would be interested in?
Personally, well, I've been captain of the basketball team, and I've been in the basketball team for 3 years. The other things that I've immersed myself into, I've been a course rep, I've been an ambassador, fans. And personally, what I think about an outdoor gym, although, yeah, it would be really nice in the summer, but most of the students at Westminster aren't here in the summer, they're at home. And this is England, and it mainly rains every day. So I don't, like, no disrespect, I think it would be really great in the summer, but I think it wouldn't be used enough because, yeah, it rains too much in England, basically.
Can I respond?
Yes,
or?
yeah.
Yeah, the main thing is that as we don't have anything like this in Harrow, it's not just for the students. It would be open for people from Harrow. So, and
to
in the
engage
recent
the community with
yeah,
the
exactly, it's a
university.
connection. So in the recent years, you will see all over Europe that more people don't have the money anymore or don't want to pay for a gym, so they train outside. And actually, the people don't care if it's raining or if there's snow. You see it all over Europe. People are outside and they work out there. So it would be a good investment to work with the community and maybe to find a way of a funding, not just through the university, but also
So a
through
more
the borough.
European. You're more European.
What means European, but more open?
Okay, we have a question from Twitter. Zach, can we go
The
over
question's
to you?
for Otis. 24-hour studios have been tried before but are not happening. Why do you think you can make this work?
I don't think, I know that it can work because I've spoken to the technician at the M block in the Harrow campus, and he's informed me that all of the risk assessments have been taken place, and there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't have 24 access now, other than the fact that there's not enough security to patrol the buildings. And I think if we can get across to the university executive board that with a couple of extra security will allow 400 students plus to be using these studios and the editing suites, I think it would be a pretty silly decision not to go ahead with it.
How do you think that you would encourage the allocation of more security? If that's the only thing stopping it, why isn't it happening?
It wasn't happening before because the risk assessments hadn't been taking place. But now that they have, it has now allowed us to realise that it's just the security. So that's the
Okay,
reason.
Lucas, have you got something you would like to say that?
Yeah,
to that? You make it clear that you want a lot of high-end working facilities to be available to more students.
Yeah, like I asked about the photo studio as it is a part as well, and there were the same problems about the health and security issues. And they said, for example, it wouldn't be a problem if there would be security guys, but the security guys from the library will not take responsibility, and the university is not giving more money for a budget that the people can do more hours. They would love to do it, but they will not open it, and they cannot hire a student like a cheaper one because it's 1 million euro or whatever pound. How many there's? It's just too much inside. There are alternatives you can do, and I think there could be as well for the audio studio.
So Lucas, you're saying no, it's not likely to happen.
There are alternatives,
And there are alternatives,
but
and
not.
Otis is saying that it will definitely happen if he gets elected. Have we got a question from the floor on this topic? Yes, please wait for the microphone.
Hi, my name's Josh. I'm a final year LLB student. Question to the pair of you. Firstly, whether this matters, and secondly, if it matters what you do about it. In terms of integrating Harrow with the central campuses, increasing collaboration and making the general campus network more cohesive, is that something you feel that matters? And if it is, what would you do specifically to improve that?
Let's start with Lucas.
Yeah, of course it matters because Harrow is the only campus who's like excluded outside there. So, for example, I think quite easy if you do more bigger events outside Harrow. We have the space. You know, it's not like in the city center where space is expensive and rarely available. Outside Harrow at the campus, it's a campus actually, so there is space. So if you would bring more bigger events outside, it would create space and a community that people come together. Of course, it bothers people coming from the city center outside Harrow because they're always complaining, but it's a chance to make a community.
Okay, Otis, how would you respond to this?
I do think that we should be more connected, and the idea that I've been playing around with in my head is if we did an SSA, because we've got to start on a small scale before we can bring everyone together. I think if we did like an SSA wife swap, and let me explain. So basically what you do is you get your SSA teams, and the vice president obviously has to stay at the campus because they're controlling everything that's going on, they know what's going on. But if the SSA teams did like a swap with Harrow, maybe once a month or once every 2 weeks, and got to know the students at the other campuses, they may build connections and they won't feel intimidated to come to the other campuses because they know people.
So using the SSAs, these are the site teams who work with the Students' Union. They're volunteers who work with the Students' Union to put on events and form awareness of events around campuses. Have you got a question? No? Okay, fine. Have we got any more from Twitter? Okay, so to both candidates, we've touched on this now. So Harrow is generally neglected due to its geography. Is there anything that you both study at those campuses, is there anything that you think you could sort of encourage students to actually come to the campuses just sort of now? Should we start with Otis, as you were just talking?
I think one of the things that SSA Wife Swap could include is the Harrow students, because the majority of the Harrow students are very creative and stuff like that. So if they created some sort of newsletter or menu type of thing, which would attract the people from the central campuses to come to Harrow, I think that would be really good. So if the SSA team were to go around giving out these leaflets and you found out that Vincent van Gogh did a piece mixed with David Beckham, or they did something, it may interest people and they'll be like, I want to go to Harrow.
Okay, so we'll just pass this over to Lucas. How would you sort of get more students involved in Harrow? Would this be your outdoor gym idea, or is there something?
I think the outdoor gym is mainly for people from Harrow. Like, there will not be people from inside the city coming there. But if you make, not now, but even it's England, it's still a lot of like nice weather sometimes, and you could make like a festival, something like this. Like I said before, we have the space, so
with this festival, it would allow more students from central London to become
and
engaged.
it's not just one festival. It could be like once a month, some kind of nice get together to make a community project. It could be like a university community project.
So,
there are a lot of opportunities.
So students working all together from all campuses, would this be something university-based or students' union-based?
It could be whatever. I think all the societies, for example, could just make an idea, and then we can create something about there. It could be, there's just like cooking together, whatever. Like, there are so many possibilities to do.
So greater cohesion, and what sort of benefit do you think that would have in the students?
To build a community, and it's, you're not just with the people around you. For example, if you study marketing, and you need always pictures, you need always good text. So we have the journalism students and the photographers. Just work with them together, and it can also work on a project to make money. It's not just for fun.
Okay, we'll take a question from Zach, please.
Thank you. My name's Dan, I do journalism. So you talk about kind of courses integrating at Harrow. How are you going to do that? Because it's so difficult already. We all have, it's like all undergraduate media have the same timetable. And now in journalism, for example, we don't even have time to learn shorthand, let alone work with TV. When are you going to fit in the time for us to go and work with each other?
You mean like to get other people together?
Yeah, like the campus at the moment, we don't work with TV, we don't work with PR. There's no room in our timetable to do it, so where do you propose that we get together?
Like, let's say your lectures are Monday to Thursday, 10 to 4, so you have the weekend, for example. Of course, I know people have to study. That doesn't mean that you have to do it. It's just a chance. And for example, you have competitions around the world, around Europe, to create a video, to create writing, to do whatever. So it's just about working together. Of course you don't have to. And if you don't have time, if you have to study, it's hard to say. But like, if you don't have the time, however, we will not bring them together.
So we'll take this question over to Otis. Would you answer Dan's question? Okay. So about how you get Harrow students to work together, bearing in mind they've already got a very full timetable.
I think everybody has time if they make time. So if somebody really wants to work with somebody, they can. But I think the issue that we've got at the moment is that there's not a great awareness of what things are available. So if students were able to advertise their skills and stuff like that in a much more productive way, then I think that we'd be able to get them together.
Thank you, Otis and Lucas. You can carry on the debate after the event using the hashtag UWSUVote. Thank you very much.